sir. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How are you doing?
It's Friday. It's Friday. Although I
It's Friday.
don't look for Fridays. I'm not going to be cliche and tell you. I'm not going to be cliche and tell you that I'm not I don't enjoy the weekends or that I don't live for the weekend or hate Mondays. But yeah, no, I definitely don't live for Fridays. I hate that much.
Yeah. I got a rare working Friday, but partly because
Oh yes, I see.
I had Monday off, but I'm gonna work a couple hours this morning. Got some stuff going on that I can't really miss. Booked a meeting at 8:30, and then I'm gonna try to get home before the kids get out of school. We'll see. Definitely missing taking them to school this morning, which I think it's MP that's one of those dads that enjoys his Fridays taking the kids to school. That's been my routine lately, and I really enjoy it a lot too. So a little bummed that I missed that this week, but there's always plenty more weeks, so all good.
Do you feel as if you miss it, you have to make up for it, or is it something that you can take with a little bit of self-compassion because you're definitely a busy guy?
Yeah.
What do you think you have to make up for it, or are you like, okay, guys, I got it? Like, no, we definitely have our usual thing of the weekend. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like I have to make up for any of it really, like because there are the nights that I spend the night out here, so like there's a lot of time I miss. It's just kind of like you like I think your thing about seasons of life it like really hit me like really well, and this is just the season of our life that we're in right now. It just I've gone from being there a lot and being really available to like being a lot less available. And I don't think it's I don't think it makes much of a difference because I think even when I was there all the time, I was less like present with them and available. Whereas now
Sure.
when I'm with them even for less time, I'm definitely like striving to be more present, more available, more like, putting my needs and stuff as much as I can aside, to be with them when I need to be or when I can be. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's the I think the absence is definitely something that makes us appreciate a little bit more, which I think is kind
Yeah.
of like where the seasons thing comes in, because I definitely know what you're saying. I also know that like even like without the
Morning.
for me, I like when I was living in the South, it was hard for me to always appreciate the warmer weather at some point. Like I was down there for 4 years, but I definitely did not appreciate the warmth as much like once summer hit. And that's why I don't know if it's like because people live in the South all their life and they don't really know. So it's like even from a season standpoint, like literal season standpoint, I always enjoy missing something because it's a good reminder for me. I need those reminders. I need those prompts, which is why, Dom, we need a meditation challenge that you're going to lead for us at some point.
I thought you were going to say this whole little conversation here actually leads into the meditation about appreciating the small things.
We can go there. Good morning, Jason. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, go
That
ahead.
sunrise,
Take us.
man. It's banging over there in Colorado. Look at that. Yeah, it's better when you leave.
That was a good joke. I think Jason missed it. That was good.
I missed it.
It's okay.
What was
I was saying hi to you, and I said, "Look at that banging sunrise." And then, like when you got up, it focused on the sunrise, and I said, "Yeah, it's better when you leave, man."
Well played, sir. Well played. Yeah, they're pretty epic out here.
Yeah.
Do you want to swing back into gratitude, or do you want to
Yeah,
go
we
in
got
that
some-
direction, the small things?
No, we got some gratitude. We can share it. Go ahead.
All right, great. I'll go with gratitude. I was going back and forth on X with some stuff, and I know that MP kind of picked up on some stuff, and you asked some questions, so I was getting back to him on that, which has been really good. I always appreciate those kind of conversations professionally to kind of get me to extract what I have in my head, which is always really good. So definitely happy to do that and continue doing that. I felt a really big need recently to get deeper into the understanding of the policy changes that may be coming with the health and nutrition space, and specifically like with my license. So I'm just getting deeper in that world, and I think it'll bring up some good questions. So MP, thanks for being so curious and asking what you have so far. And then we got Dave over there, gratitude. 24 plus 3, 24 plus 3 things plus sunrise songs. Am I an idiot? What is this? What does this mean?
David, translate that for us.
I feel like I should know what that means. I don't know, but sunrise songs I like. 3 things. I have 3 things that I like. And 24. I like 24.
24 ounces of veggies. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, well, I wasn't sure because David, you haven't been as active within it, but I'm so glad that you're definitely there. And also, Jason, you haven't been active in it either. But I know that Kristen wanted to be active one time in this step challenge, and I think she was posting, but no one saw her stuff because she was private.
We just like signing up for things.
Okay, that's all good. Oh, David, maybe it's not as cryptic. Maybe I'm just not remembering things. But boys, where are we with gratitude for you right now? What's happening?
Go ahead, Jason.
Oh,
I'm gonna make my bed while you guys do that.
Dom first. Dom, I'm thankful for your gratitude today. What is it?
Today I was thinking, it's Friday, so I'm thankful for we got a couples weekend getaway. We're going for one night to celebrate one of the husband's birthdays. So all the couples are going down. Grandparents coming to watch the kids. And then I was really swept away with some gratitude on the fact that I seem to be learning patience, accountability, and adaptability a lot better lately, which was strange for me to like think about and realize, but just some stuff that happened yesterday that I kind of like had to, dig deep into those 3 traits and just kind of push myself forward and work. So just that went real well. And then the last thing I mentioned was kind of like MPs, like grateful for Ryan not pushing me, but like just putting it out there. And I scheduled my first physical in I don't even know how many years, 3, maybe 20, who knows? It's been a while. So
that's on my radar this month too, for my 44th birthday. What was the thing? I had 2 questions for you. What was the thing that fired that up? The accountability piece.
Just the accountability piece was is one that it's where a lot of the stuff that happens in work, I would typically blame someone else and be like, hey, I'm not getting the information from the subcontractor or whatever, but lately I've been really I've been struggling to make that call to the client and let them know that like we're behind schedule. But then the other day I just kind of reached out to a couple different people and I was like, look, I'm really sorry, like I've just been so slammed dealing with this other stuff. I lost track of where we were at with your proposal. But I just kind of went through it, just kind of like basically like apologizing, accepting responsibility and like that kind of thing. Cause like at the end of the day, if I stay on top of my guys, like I'll get what I need. But if I just like send them a proposal request and just wait for them to give it to me, like they'll just forget about it because everybody's busy. So it was more about that.
I can relate to that, jumping on things early. I think a habit that I've had most of my life is like waiting until things either blow up or get worse. Yeah, that was not an easy lesson for me to learn and do regularly. Most like with other people, or like something as simple as like changing air filters in the house. Not that our furnace did anything bad, just like waiting on it. It's like you get the splinter in your brain and then it just grows and becomes annoying. So yeah, good on you for that.
Can I ask a question around that? I'm really curious because you can wait for things. I don't know if you guys are like this. Dom, I know that you are a guy who takes notes and all that kind of stuff too. When you have a to-do list, right? Because the thing is, like, maybe you put on your to-do list mentally, physically, but it's there, and it's the end of the day. Like, you still see it on your list. What keeps you accountable to actually finishing out your to-do list? Jason, same question to you. I want to know that. I mean, I'm really good at making to-do lists. Like, I'm going to make a to-do list and remember to do my to-do list.
Crossing items off is the main drive for lists.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at my best, like I'll have like I have a journal, and I'll go through periods where I'm really good at using it, and then like I'll fall off for a week or two. But like at my best, I have my journal open at home and I'm writing, and then I have my journal open at school and I'm writing. And so like whatever items, whether it's home things or school things or kid things or like marriage things, just crossing them off, that's like a nice little jolt of serotonin. That's my drive, kind of.
Yeah.
Because they're never ordered. Like my lists aren't ordered. I just kind of like write them down as they come to mind.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's the same thing. For workday stuff, I do try to organize them a little bit in order. I go in and out of them. Like I haven't been doing morning lists for a while now. I used to do them as a part of this routine. Like I'd get off this call, I'd go exercise, I'd journal in my normal journals, and then I'd open up my work journal and I'd, lay out the tasks. Since I'm trying to do a short, quick day today, I did do one last night before I left the office, printed it out. It's sitting right next to me. So yeah, the only, way to be accountable or have any sort of, completion is to just cross it off. But at the end of the day, sometimes I remember this when I used to have the work journals. I won't cross it off if it doesn't get completed, put a circle on it and then throw it on to the next day. Or I just try to make a habit to scroll back into the journal and make sure that stuff has been completed.
Yeah, I hear you. I realize for some reason I hear you guys through here, but I can't talk through here. So you hear, I think, not the best audio, by the way. But that doesn't matter. I found for me the most cathartic thing is to it's keeping like a note card in my pocket, like a note card, like an index card, and I have to write out my day, and then I'll be able to cross it off on there. But then I start with a new note card tomorrow. I feel like I fight this idea I get into this for a good month and a half, and it's really good, and then I stop doing it, and I'm like, no, you know what? I'm gonna keep it digitally. And it never works. So I have to stay accountable to this kind of task. But I just feel as if it's that's what I always need. I think it's definitely good. And Ron, I love extreme ownership. Whether you're talking about who was that? Jocko Willett, was that extreme ownership? Was that his? Whether it's that, I always love Ron Jordan's mindset around everything, and I'd be curious how Ron stays on top of or how he keeps himself accountable. I think also for endurance runners, I think it's definitely something because probably an endurance runner that knows extreme ownership, most those people have kind of taken something like motivation and really just tossed it well behind them, because motivation is such an unnecessary thing to put at the forefront of most of your day.
I heard
it comes and it goes.
I heard, I forget where I heard it. It was a few years ago. The line is discipline will set you free, which I always kind of approached as like I was kind of resistant to that, but it's like once you start like organizing and prioritizing your things in your day and what you got to get done, like that is really an extreme load off your chest and your mind when you have things somewhere that you can just refer to instead of trying to remember them all the time, or just build that routine like Dom was just saying. Like the days when you nail that, like those days go well, and I wish I was better at doing that every day.
Hold on, I want to make sure I'm highlighting David's stuff here because David, I also feel as if I feel like I keep myself forced into the digital world of keeping these things, but then like I have to remember to look digitally at all these things too, and then I can't cross it off. And the cathartic thing of it, just like writing, kind of gets me. So yeah, I'm definitely on top of that. Also, note cards and shirt pockets remind me of my dad. In the best ways. My dad actually used to keep a note card in his pocket when he would teach in school, and he would write down all the slang words that his kids would use so that he would have his own little dictionary of kids' slang words. It was actually pretty funny. One of the best speeches I ever heard, one of them, and I'm biased because it's my dad, but my dad at his retirement party, he didn't make a speech, but he basically just read off a list of, what was it? It was like a list of things to remember to do while you're up in front of people making a speech so that you don't get nervous. And it was one of the best speeches ever. So he just basically read that from his mind. I don't even know if he read it off anything, but it was a funny speech. But yeah, Ron, I'm definitely with this. The discipline equals freedom thing. Completely agree with that. That is like probably what gets me more than anything. It's definitely good. What was I gonna say? Because I know we're 17 minutes in right now. I wanted to ask, guys, what is the thing around you right now that you're not really paying attention to? Small thing, the small things.
I really like that question, Ryan.
Hope so.
I think
I can just take you off if you didn't. Just kidding.
I don't know.
I am serious, by the way. I thought it was a good question.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it's a necessary thing. It's kind of like, okay, close your eyes. Let's think about it. Well, it's like, do you guys ever do any kind of grounding? And this is all part of today, by the way. Just I think it's, and if it's you guys don't think it is, help me get back there. But November 15th, no, this is the special part. Really, Dom, you started to touch on this. The small things that maybe we're not noticing. Because it talks about, I don't even know who this is, Alexandra Horowitz, who was an author, wrote a book about her walking through different environments. And just the small thing, like, what would a kid see in this environment? I saw a post of a guy with his little, what was it, French bulldog? You know how French bulldogs just like naturally kind of smile big. He made like a post, it was a video, and he was showing his French bulldog all things around his apartment that the dog has never gotten to see. So he's like, the dog gets to see all these things for the first time. So he like showed him inside the dryer, and he showed him like the top shelves of the fridge. It was really funny. But those are like the small things that like we wouldn't think about. So I think it's a really good thing. But it's, you know, I kind of think of this kind of moment as like a grounding exercise, right? When someone says like you're anxious or you're angry or whatever's going on, if you stop, and people have all kind of iterations of this, but if you stop and you think about your five senses, 6 if we really love Bruce Willis, but 5 senses, and we can definitely think about, you know, what are 3 things that we hear, 3 things we see, 3 things we taste. I always like that grounding exercise, but those are the small things. Is there anything around you guys that you probably don't appreciate right now?
My head immediately goes to the fridge and the foods that I always dig past to get to the foods that I'm used to. Like I like cottage cheese. Like when I pack my lunch in the morning for school, like I'll go for the cottage cheese for like breakfast, or eggs, or like, you know, the meats. But it's like, what about that lonely celery that's been wrapped in foil for who knows how long? or the horseradish that for some reason never goes bad. That's where I go. And then downstairs, like my studio, all these books that I have not touched in years that I've always like intended to read. I'll say books. Books is my final answer.
You sure?
Yes.
You want to call a friend on that?
Nope. I'm totally confident with that.
I think it's definitely good. I feel like being aware of all those things. I like it. The books thing. I think of books. I think of our friend Dom here. Dom sent me a book that I've been reading slowly. I'm getting there though.
Oh man.
Robbie had a really good post recently. Robbie, who I'm just noticing now. I don't think he's popped in here as much as I think he's watching us over on X. He reminded us to get outside and look up, look at the trees, look at the sky, because he's a walker. And we talk every week. We talk every week on Wednesday. You guys can join us. Freedom Streakers. Freedom Streakers are the people who follow us and walk with us as we have these. So just join us next time, guys. But look at the trees, see things around. Wasn't there a book that was written in the perspective of trees, but you don't know that until the end of the book? I feel like, you guys ever hear that book before?
No.
Is that the book by M. Night Shyamalan where the trees attack people? Is that it?
I don't think it's that one, but it definitely could be made by him. But it was something about like looking at like what the trees see and how they view the world. But again, you don't know. Like the main character apparently in the book are the trees, but again, you don't know it until the end of the book. I'm like, oh crap! Now I'm like a different perspective for the whole world. What about perspective of your kids right now? Do your kids have any different perspective you don't think that you're like tapping into? Christmas right now, I think, is huge. Like, what is Christmas? What is Christmas for kids? I feel like they kind of like they see things so differently.
Without destroying any kids' beliefs who might be watching right now, Kira last year
Well, give it a second, and if anyone is watching with kids, you guys can turn this off at the moment. So just a little heads up.
Earmuffs. So Kira last year had the realization on Santa and all the things that happen because of Santa. Like she got like a little dose of possibly the reality from another friend, and Christmas Eve she had a little breakdown because of that. As me and Kristen were doing the Christmas thing. So that was heartbreaking because that was like a stage that's gone and a new stage that we went through. So like we include her like when our two younger daughters go to bed. Now Kira is now our little helper.
That's so awesome.
Setting things up. So we presented it more as like, we had to have the talk, like the spirit of Christmas and, what that means, what Santa means. And now you're part of it. And now you get to continue that for your sisters. So, yeah, that was a little hard pill to swallow to watch live in action last year.
I'm sure it is. What, it's a different perspective, I think, on Christmas and stuff like that. Is there any kind of small things that you think that your kids are observing or feeling that we can kind of get in touch with?
I've been racking my brain trying to think of stuff that I'm missing. I'm sure there's plenty of it, but I don't know, man. Like I'm not. No. Not that I can think of. I mean, not saying that I know everything that's going on or that I'm watching everything, but
yeah,
I am a watcher and I am a listener. So I kind of feel like I do watch the small stuff and listen to the small stuff, but Yeah, I don't know, man. There's nothing that jumps into my mind right now.
Here, I want to read verbatim until I end up getting sued by Ryan Holiday. As parents, we have to appreciate the fact that our kids can help us see the world maybe better than we can see. My God. As parents, we have to appreciate the fact that our kids can help us see the world maybe better than we can help them see it. It was a tough sentence, guys, okay? It's a tough sentence. We got through it. They can help us see that anything can be special and fun, that a walk doesn't have to be outside, that dinner can be anywhere, and a cardboard box can be more fun than the Christmas present it was carrying. We have to encourage this spirit. I'll finish this out. We have to make sure we don't crush it with subtle corrections, insistence on the official way things are or should be. I think that's so important. Like this morning, my oldest daughter, like she's such in this moment of like trying to figure out herself, right? And I love that. And she's very into one of her friends right now, which I also love because when I was younger, I was very much into one of my friends. And so it was something where I don't think that my parents really understood the need or the purpose that I think I was doing that, even subconsciously. But even this morning, I was trying to put myself in the shoes of my oldest daughter, who's 7. She's going to turn 8 soon. But it's cold outside. Like you need a jacket outside. But she wanted to put her jacket folded up in her bag when she left. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you should put your jacket on because you're going to get cold. I'd rather you be warm and then look to get, to cool off than be cold and have to get warm. So I was trying to, I really try because I really want to make sure that my kid feels as if I hear her. I want her to know I trust her. So I was like, okay, I just need to see from your viewpoint. And even physically got down on the floor, sat on the floor, looking at her. You let me know, what is it about the jacket that needs to go in there? And it wasn't until her little friend showed up that, they walked to school together basically. And she wasn't wearing a jacket either. So now I'm thinking, okay, she's not going to wear a jacket because I know her friend's not wearing a jacket. That's the reason. And that's the primary thing. So if I come from the standpoint of a practical stay warm, that's not going to resonate because that's not what she's prioritizing. But the world to her right now, it's not about really health or staying warm. It's about really just fitting in with her friend. And that was just a little moment. I always just try and do that more often right now because I feel like I was a kid not understood by my parents at all times, not blaming them because it's just a hard job to do, but it's just something that I really want to make sure that I'm trying to listen as much as I can. But those are little things I'm trying to kind of be aware of, even with Christmas, thinking about what they're thinking or whatever else is going on. So anyway, I think I could keep ranting and going off on that, but that's my thought about how this is, because it's a good reading. It's a good reminder. Thanks, guys. That was good. Well, what's going on this weekend? Give us that, because then we can push on. Profit, good to see you, buddy. So glad you're here. What are you guys doing for the weekend? How are you gonna look at some of the smaller things around you?
Kira is I'm going. Kira gets to shag volleyballs for I think CSU volleyball down in Denver. So she gets to see volleyball up close.
Is she playing volleyball?
She is. She got it through this year, but she gets to see what that experience is like from the college perspective, which I'm excited.
Do you play volleyball or no?
No.
Cheerleading, right?
Cheerleading and then swim.
Got it. Okay.
She just had swim tryouts yesterday. So.
Oh yeah, Jason. Brian in the chat. He's down in Arizona. You guys didn't get to meet up when you were there. He is still is a volleyball coach, Brian. He was a volleyball coach for a long time. He played volleyball. His wife played volleyball. So that could be a really cool thing to get connected with over here. So if you guys want to kind of talk about that, he also knew how to train some of his students, some of the younger players. So get in touch. That's really cool.
Nice.
Tom, anything else going on, or last words?
Oh, I already said, yeah, this weekend we're going out of town with our couple friends. A little adults getaway in Temecula.
Okay.
How about you, buddy?
Awesome. Thanks for asking this weekend. Lauren's going upstate with some friends. I'm with the girls. We have some birthday parties that are going on. I want to always be better about planning the things ahead of time, like the hike or getting more active, and not letting it fall on my wife so much. So I get to kind of take how much I'm excited for.
Nice.
Sad Uncle Ryan.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up, Kira? Oh, okay. Anyway, all right, guys.
Talk about
Well,
you.
have a good morning. I hope that your mugs stay full of coffee and your heart's full of gratitude. We will see you guys tomorrow morning.
See you, gents.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, peeps.
That's me.